Hi, welcome. Now, in today's lesson, we'll be dealing with data handling. So, we are going to have 4 lessons for data handling. And after these 4 lessons, you should be feeling quite confident about your data handling problems if you have them. Well, our lesson 1, measures of central tendency. Lesson 2 will be focusing on the 5-number summary and measures of spread. I'll explain what those are when we get there. And then lesson 3 will focus on the box and whisker plots. Most of the time, how do you interpret it? And also the percentiles. And then lesson number 4, by now you know the last lesson, exam type questions. We see how we can take all this knowledge that we have gained and apply it on an exam simulation, if you would like to call it that. Now, without any waste of time, let's get started. Like you can see on my left, I have someone here. Someone needs to be dealt with before we get started. So shift 9. Oh, yes. Of course. Now we're good to go. So now, when we are talking about the measures of spread, basically what we are talking about your mode, as you will see, your mean, and also your median. But this is what I want you to do. Each and every time when you come through a concept of data handling, there are 2 things that I would say they are the most important things. They are the most basic and fundamental things in data handling. And that is number one, you need to always recalculate your answers. In data handling, you don't just get an answer and that is it, you move on. No, you go back, you verify, you recalculate, and make sure that indeed you have calculated correctly. And number 2, you just need to know that it is important to always, okay, it's not rearrange, because I wanted to write rearrange, to arrange your data. Now, there are 2 ways in which your data can be arranged. So the first one, and put it in gold, the first one is in an ascending order. So basically, to arrange your data in ascending order is simply to arrange it from the smallest value to the biggest value, biggest value. So when we say arrange your data in ascending order, you start with the smallest value and then you end with the biggest value. And then when we say you have to arrange your data in descending order, you have to start with the biggest value, and then you are going to the smallest value. So you have to start with the biggest value and then you end with the smallest value. Now quickly, because I don't want you to get lost. This is not where you're supposed to get lost. See, you need to have the basics accurately so that immediately we start entertaining the content, you already understand what you're supposed to do. Let's say we were given this data set. It will just be a small data set. Let's say 7, let's say 3. And then here we can maybe, let's say 9. So this is the data that you've been given. And the question asks you to arrange, or you have to order this data in an ascending order. So now, because we said ascending order, you start from the smallest value and then you go all to the biggest value. The smallest value here, it's number 3. So that means you are going to write 3 first. And then what's the second one? It's number 5. What's the third one? It's number 7. Last one, number 9. You see, I started from the smallest value, as I said here. I ended with the biggest value, as I said here. But what if they said you have to arrange your data in descending order? Descending, we said that you start with the biggest value and then you end with the smallest value. So the biggest value here in this data set, it's 9. So you're going to start with 9. What follows? It's 7. What follows? It's 5. Lastly, it's 3. So can you see that we started with the biggest value, as it says here, and we ended with the smallest value, as it said here. So that's how you arrange your data. You need to master arranging your data, and you will see some of the tricks that I'm going to teach you as we continue of how you can better arrange your data and how you can be certain that you have accurately and correctly arranged your data. So now, like I was saying, we have measures of central tendency, which is your mode, your mean, and also your median. Let's start here with the mode. So essentially, mode is the most appearing value or values. And I'm going to explain to you using these two data sets why we also include values in a data set. And by the way, don't be confused. Say, ever since you started the video, you've been saying something about data set. What could that be? Well, a data set is just a set of numbers. See this here, 5, 7, 3, 9. This is a data set, just a set of numbers that have been given to you. It's a data set. So no need to stress about that. So we say that mode is the most appearing value or values in a data set. Now let's look at this data set. I'll say this is data set number 1 and this is data set number 2. Let's look at data set number 1. Do we have any most appearing value or values? Now, okay, we have it. 10 is 1, 8, 11, 14, 3, 7, 4, 5, 4. Well, we have the first 4 and we have the second 4. So that means that 4 is the most appearing value. Therefore, if the question was to give us the mode for data set number 1, our mode for data set number 1, so our mode here was going to be 4. Now let's look at data set number 2. Now data set number 2 has, okay, we have 10, we have 8, 11, 14, 3, 7, 4, 5, 4. Okay, we have 1, 4, 2, 4. Okay, 8 again. We have 1, 8. We have the second 8. Do you see now we have 2 values that are most appearing? 4 and 8, they are most appearing. You see now, that's why it says value or values. Now we have 2 values that are most appearing in this data set. Now, how do we answer our question of what is the mode of the data set? Well, the mode with regards to data set number 2, it was going to be 4 and 8. Don't make the mistake here, because sometimes there's a mistake of choosing which one you want. No, you're going to get 1 mark. Usually this is a 2-mark question. Don't choose whether you want to use 4 or you want to. No, you don't choose. You give them both the data or the values that are most appearing. In this case, it's 4 and 8. So you just give them both of them. You say that the mode is 4 and 8. Now we have an occasion whereby there is no mode. It's not there. Let's use data set number 1. Okay, let me quickly give you data set number 3. So data set number 3, let's say we had 10, 8, 11, 14, 3, 7, 4, and 5. Now this is the whole data set. Now as you can see, we have 10, 8, 11, 14, 3, 7, 4, 5. There is no most appearing. They are all counted for 1, 1, 1. Now, if the question was to come and say, give us the mode, well, there is no mode. Then what can you write? You can simply say there is no mode. Or someone can write none, because don't write 0. 0 is a number. So if you are saying 0, you are saying that 0 is the most appearing, and there is no 0 here. You are supposed to write no mode, or there is none. Now, that should be about the mode. So now let's go to median. Now, median is the middle value. The middle value. This is important. Now, median is, I would like to say that median is more like the focal point. The focal point. Why would you say that? Why would you say median is the focal point? Because you will understand that when we are going to go to your quartiles, your 5-number summary, there is nothing you can do there before you have determined the median. So the median is focal. And before we can get the middle value in an arrange, you see now the definition says that it's a middle value. It's not just any middle value, because let's use this data set here. I want to make this example quickly. If I cancel from left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right, do you see that I have 3 here as a middle value? 3 is in the middle of the data that has been given. Does this mean that 3 is the median? No, it doesn't. Why? Because the definition says it's a middle value in an arranged set of data, or in an arranged data set. What does that mean? It takes us back. Remember, I said 2 most important things. You need to recalculate, and you also need to be able to arrange, of which I taught you can do that in an ascending order. You can also do that in a descending order. So arranged here, it means you have to first arrange your data, whether it's in ascending order or also in descending order. It's then that you can come up with your median or with your middle value. So if your data is not arranged, you cannot come up with a median or with a middle value. Your median or your middle value will be wrong if your data is not arranged. With this case, in this case here, 3 is wrong because the data is not arranged. So now let's arrange our data so that we can come up with the median. Because first things first, before you can get median, must first arrange. First, you need to arrange your data. Arrange your data. As a first thing, before you can do anything, you must first arrange your data. Then you will come up with the median. Now, let's again, data set number 1, data set number 2. The reason why I have 2 data sets, it's because there is 2 ways in which you can come up with the median. I want to show you both of them so that you don't get confused. Now let's look at data set number 1. So data set number 1, when we are going to arrange it, the first one that we have, or the smallest one that we have, and also pay attention to what I'm going to be doing here, because this is what is going to help you a lot when it comes to arranging data so that you don't miss other values and you end up with a wrong median. So 3 is the smallest. So with this regards, we are arranging it in an ascending order. So it's in an ascending order. So 3 is the smallest. Because I know that 3 is the smallest, I don't just write 3. No, I go to my paper. Remember, the data set will be given on your paper. I go to 3, I write 1. You will see why I'm doing that. And then I come here. Me use a white. And then I come here, I say 3. Now, what's the second one? Well, 4 is the second one. I go here, I write 2. I say 4. What's the third one? Well, we also have 4. So 3, then 4. What's the fourth one? Well, we have a 5 here. 4, and then we say 5. What's the next one? Let's see. We have a 7 here. Can say 5, and then we say 7. And then what follows? We have an 8 here, which we can write 6, and then we write 8. What follows? We have a 10 here, we can write 7, and then 10. What have we? We have 11 here, we can write 8, and then 11. What else? We have lastly a 14 here, we can write 9, and then we write 14. Why have I done what I have just done? Well, it's simple. Now, when you look at the data set, you can count the data set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 values in this data set. We have just arranged them. because we arranged them, that means that also the numbers that we have arranged, they also have to total a 9. Is that correct? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we know with certainty that we have actually put or arranged each and every value in the given data set. Again, why did I write 1, 2 on top of these values? It also helps me to see if there is any value that I did not account for. I can go back and say, on top of 11, there is no number. That means that I didn't count 11. I must go back and fix my data or my arranged set. So by doing this, you will not miss any value. And remember, if you miss a value, you are going to get a wrong median. This is important. I cannot stress this enough. You miss a value, your answer will be incorrect. So make it a point that you take your time, you number all your values as you are arranging them so that you don't miss any value. At the end, you count them. So first we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Count the ones that you have ordered in an ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you know that you can continue to the next step. Now, let me use a goal for this one. So in the next step, we are going to be cancelling. You cancel on your left, you cancel on your right. Left, right. Just like that until you get to the middle value. So if we cancel here, I thought it was a goal. What's happening? If I cancel here, I can also come here to 14 and cancel. See? I cancel here, I can also come to my right, I cancel. I cancel here, I can also come to my right and cancel. See, now it's 3, 3. I cancel for the 4th time on my left, for the 4th time on my right. Do you see now? I am remaining with a 7, meaning that a median for data set number 1 or the middle value for data set number 1 is 7. That's how I come up with a median. Again, now let's look at this data set number 2 and see that we can apply the same steps and what's going to happen. So now, well, again, let me use the white. We do this step by step. Remember, these are the basics. You're not supposed to miss anything here because immediately we start to elevate to the next concept and also to your exam type questions. You already need to have mastered the basics, and these are the basics. What do the basics say? The basics say that we as we are counting them or as we are ascending, we are putting them in ascending order. We are also putting numbers on top of them so that we see that we do not miss anything. So now, what's our first value? It's number 3. 1, 3. Secondly, we have a 4. 4. There we go. Thirdly, another 4. There we go. We also have a 5. There we go. What also do we have? We also have a 7. Yes, 7. There we go. What have we? An 8. There we go. What else? Another 8. Okay. Fascinating. There we go. What else? 10 is our number 8. What else? Okay, we have a 11, which is our number 9. Oh, lastly, we have a 14. How could I confidently say lastly? Because I am looking at the top of all these values and I can see that there are numbers on top of them. And by each and every number, I came here and arranged that value. So now, let's count them. 1, okay, first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the arranged data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know with certainty that I have arranged all the values within my data set. Now again, what do I have to do? Because I see that this was my number 10, it also tells me again, if this was the last value that I arranged and on top of it there is number 10, it also tells me again that all my data or all the data that I have arranged has to be 10 in total, and of which they are. Now let's go to the second step. If we are done here, we go to the second step, which is cancelling on your left and also on your right. So it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. You see, don't do mental maths here. Don't cancel a 3 and a 14 in your mind. No, use your pen. So here, okay, I've cancelled 4 and 4. Do you see now that I'm left with 7 and 8? I cannot cancel both of them because then where will my median come from if I cancel both of them? So now with regards to this one, if you are left, let's get some real estate down here. If you are left with 2 digits like you are here, you are left with a 7 and also an 8, or any 2 values that could be left, you are supposed to plus them. So our median for data set number 2, we are going to say 7 plus 8, and we divide that by 2. So let's go to our calculator. In our calculator, we can say that we have a 7 in the middle, plus 7 is not alone, goes along with 8, and then we divide that by 2. Let's change. It says that it is 7.5. So do you see that our data, the data that we were given, because we had 2 middle values, which was 8 and 7, we can't use 2 of them. We have to combine them, plus them, and then we divide them by 2, and then we'll get the actual median, which is 7.5. That's how you do it when you arrive in the middle and you have 2 values. Now let's continue. So lastly, we have a mean. So we have a mean. So it says here, mean is an average. Yes, mean is also an average. And now let's go up there. There is an injustice that I did. Mode can also be known as modal. So if they say give us the modal of the data, don't say, oh, I never heard about that. What's that? What's modal? No, modal and mode, they are the same thing. So yes, and an injustice has just been justified. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. Anyways, let's continue. So we have a mean here. A mean can also be average. Average and mean, it's the same thing. If they say calculate the mean of the data set, or if they say calculate the average, they're talking about the same thing. Don't be confused. Mean and average, they mean the same thing. Now, mean is the average of the values in a data set. So it's the average of the values in a data set. Mean, by its nature, has a formula, and the formula say it's the sum of values divided by the number of, this is a E, number of values. This is the formula. Mean is equals to the sum of values divided. What does sum mean? Sum mean total. Total of values divided by the number of values. Now, let's pay attention to this data set. Data set number 1, data set number 2, data set number 3. There are 3 variations of mean, and I want you to know all of them. Like I told you, when we are done with all these 4 lessons for data handling, you should be oozing with confidence. Okay, not oozing with confidence. I don't think that is applicable to what we are doing here. You should be fairly confident. Let's leave oozing alone, whatever oozing means. Anyways, data set number 1. So we have, this is the data that we have been given, and we already understand. And this is one thing that I also want you to get used to. Before you can calculate mean, write the formula for mean. So the formula for mean mean it says that it should be the sum of values divided by the number of values. Number of values. Now let's do that. Sum of values, we said it's the total, so we are supposed to add everything. Again, look at what I'm going to be doing. Basics, fundamentals, very important. 10. Do you see that? Plus 8. See that? Plus 11. Yep. Plus 14. Yes. Plus 3. Plus 7. Plus 4. Plus 5. Plus 4. Okay, now, why did I do what I just did? It's simple. Again, by cancelling out each and every number as you are writing it down, you are going to do this obviously using your pencil. You are making it a point that there is no number that you missed. If there is any number that you didn't cancel, you can go back after adding all of them or after writing them down, and you're like, on top of 5, there is no cancellation that I did. That means I didn't account for number 5. I must go back and do it again. So that's why I was doing that. Now I know that I have a 10, I have a 8, 11, a 14, a 3, a 7, a 4, a 5, and a 4. Because I have all of them cancelled. Now we said by the number of values, divide by the number of values. Now we are going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Meaning that the number of values is 9. So we have divided by the number of values, which is 9. Let's go to our calculator to make things simple for you. If you want to make things simple for you, you can also say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It gives you even more insurance for doing this. Now let's go to our calculator and let's say this divide function or this fraction function. Now let's say 10 plus 8. Again, you can be doing the same thing here. In fact, we are supposed to be doing the same thing here. So let me use a different one. Let me use a pink. So we said a 10. It's on the calculator. Plus what? 8. It's on the calculator. Plus what? 11. On the calculator. Okay, where are you going? Plus 14. On the calculator. Plus 3. On the calculator. Plus 7. On the calculator. Plus 4. On the calculator. Plus 5. Yes. Plus 4. Yes. See, again, I will know that I have all the values in the calculator accounted for because I have cancelled them as I was putting them in the calculator, and you divide by 9. So some of you might first get the sum and then you are going to divide it after. It's still the same thing. I'll show you just now. So it says that, okay, let's go back to the gold. It says that we have a 7. Okay, there's a lot of 3s. Let's just say that we are going to round them off to 2 decimal places. So this was going to be our mean. Now this is what I say if you can first add them and then you will divide them later. So we can say equal to again here. So now we have a 10 plus. Again, you see, I'm following the exact same things that I would like you to follow because I understand that these are the fundamentals. Plus 11. And you master this now, data handling, well-being. I don't want to say a walk in a park, but something like that. Okay, what has to do with this multiplication? 3 we have, plus 7 we have, plus 4 we have, plus 5 we have, plus 4 we have. And obviously you will do this using your pencil. And then it says that we have a 66. Now you can divide that 66 by 9. So you can just go to your calculator and say divide by 9. And then you see it's the same value. Rounded off to 2 decimal places, it's still. So whichever way you want to do it, it all works. The answer at the end should be the same. Now let's go to the second variation that I was talking about. Now I want you to pay attention to dataset number 2, because dataset number 2, it is written that you have a 10 and the 8 and the 11, 14, 3, 7, 4. What's this? This looks to me like an alphabet. Can this be a number? No, it's definitely not a number. It's an alphabet. And then you also have a 4. Now, a question with this regard can say, now pay attention to what the question is going to say. Given a mean of 7.33, okay, they would have rounded it off to do the small places as well. Calculate the value of A. You see that? Given a mean of 7.33, calculate the value of A. This is what they want us to calculate. And then you're like, how are we going to do that? Well, that's why you are here. And of course, that's why I'm here. So let's get it done. What did I say? It's the first thing. Formula. When you're calculating mean, formula is the first thing. I want to write my formula here because here we are going to be doing something. Okay, let me put it here. I'm going to say that mean is equals to the sum of values. Sum of values divided by the number of values. Yes. Now, we have been given our mean, and our mean has been given to us as 7.33. Therefore, we are going to put it under our mean because that's what they have gave us. Given a mean of. Now, what's the sum of values? That's the same thing that we have to do again. 10. Yes. Plus 8. So we are still doing the same steps. Plus 11. Yes. Plus 14. Yes. Plus 3. Yes. Plus 7. Plus 4. Plus, look at this. Plus A. Yes, of course. Yes, indeed. Plus A. And then plus, okay, we have counted for A, plus the last value, which is 4. Why did I plus A? You will see why I plus A. We are calculating for A, but yes, we have to plus A. And then we said that we have to divide by the number of values. Now we have value number 1, value number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, we are accounting for A because A is already on the sum of values. So we are also accounting for A. So we are going to have a 9 here. Now, how do we go about the calculations? Let me get some property. Go get some property here so that we can at least try to steal, bit of property from variation number 3. Now, let's go to our calculator and do what is doable. When I say go to the calculator and do what is doable, these values at the top, they can be added. Therefore, let's go and add them. So let's cancel. And then let's say 10. 10. Okay, I have to use a white so that you can see. Yes, 10. 10 plus 8 plus 11 plus 14 plus 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus, you can't say plus A. Don't do that. No, let A be. We are dealing with A. We are trying to solve for A. So you're going to say plus 4 because 4 is at the end. We did not plus this. As much as we have plussed it here, we are not supposed to plus it on the calculator. And now we are getting a 61. So, okay, let's move it this side. So 7.33 is equals to a 61 plus A. Do you see why we couldn't add A on the calculator? Okay, A on the calculator is not addable, by the way. So we still have our A here. Someone might be looking at this and be like, say, this looks like a lot of work. It doesn't seem like a lot of work. I have known and I have seen most intelligent learners getting incorrect answers, having the right formulas for data handling. Why was that the case? Because they didn't go through the fundamentals and the basics of making it a point that you have accounted for each and every value in your data set. Don't do mental maths here. This is not the place. If you want to do mental maths somewhere, not here, don't do it here. Here, try to do as I am doing. Try to take it slow and simple. You add, you cancel. You add, you cancel. You add, you cancel. You will thank me later. Anyways, let's get back to business. So, we first came up with the formula. Mean is equals to sum of values divided by the number of values. Because mean was given to us, it was 7.33. We have used that mean and the mean and equal to the sum of values. We added them, 10 plus 8 plus 11 plus 14 plus 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus A plus 4. And then we counted all those values and we ended up with a 9. Hence, we put a 9 below in the number of values. Now we have added these values at the top plus this 4. 4, 4, 7, 3, 14, 11, 8, and 10. And we got a 61. Plus A because we couldn't put A in the calculator. 9 is still there. How do we solve this? Now, this is why I ask you. Have you watched my video about how to do Casio? The fundamentals or the basic functions of a Casio calculator, because if not, you have to go back there and watch that video. It has something that looks like this, but that particular thing has to do with speed, time, and distance. But it's the same thing that we are supposed to do here. We are solving for A. Who here, if we can say, who here is a problem? Who is keeping us from getting A to be allowed? It's 61 first and also 9. But let's start with a 9. By dealing with the 9, let me get a pink. To deal with the 9 here, we are supposed to multiply both sides by 9. Both sides are supposed to be multiplied by 9. This 9 is going to destroy this 9. This 9 will destroy this 9. What will be left is this. We will be left with a 9 multiplied by 7.33 is equal to 61 plus A. Now we are getting somewhere. Let's get this in the calculator. So let's say 9 multiplied by 7.33. What do we get? We get a 60. It says that it's a 65.97, which is equals to 61 plus A. Now that I've remembered, have you watched my video with regards to how to transpose, how to change the subject of the formula? Because I have all this detailed out in that video. But let's continue. You will go and watch that video because you need to know how to change the subject of the formula. Now, with this regards, A, we want A to be isolated. We want A to be on one side by itself. How can we do that? Well, we can do that by sending 61, who is problematic, to the other side. Now, how do we do that? Well, It's simple. Because 61 is a positive, if you have watched that video by now, you understand when we send him to the other side or her to the other side, it will become a negative. So then we are going to have 65.97 minus 61 is equals to A. The answer is already there. 65.97 minus 61. What do we get? We are getting A is 4.97. It's the value of A. This is usually a 5-mark, 6-mark question. So that's how you calculate the value of A. It's 4.97. And now, let me tell you this. We can put 4.97 here and we can prove. You remember changing the subject of the formula. One thing I was always emphasizing is that at the end you can actually prove whether you are correct or not. Let's do that even here. Like I said, after these videos of data handling, I want you to be not oozing. I said let's leave oozing alone. I want you to be confident, fairly confident. Let's prove. Now, we're given 7.33 as the mean, and we're supposed to calculate the value of A. We have calculated the value of A to be 4.97. Now we want to prove that indeed, if we plug it here, let's plug, let's use a Y. Let's plug this 4.97 here and see if we are going to get this mean if we are reversing it. Now just watch what I'm going to be doing here. 10 plus 8. Now because we are proving, I'm not going to be going up there and coming here because you are proving. But if we're not proving, you know the drill. Plus 4. Now we have an A. Our A is 4. Now it can be put in the calculator because now it's 4.97. And then we also have a 4 at the end. Now what are we getting? We are getting a 65.97. Now in this 65.97, let's divide it by what? By 9. What are we getting? Are we not getting this? We are getting indeed a 7.33. So do you see that this is a 6-mark or a 5-mark question that you're going to suppose to run away with it? Run away with it because at the end you can even prove whether you are correct or not. It's the same 7.33. But you know me, I know you. Let's do another variation, which is variation number 3. We are trying to give you as much confidence as we can here. If confidence was a tangible thing, yeah, let's give you confidence. Now, let's get some real estate because this one, and let's also do this. This is the whole real estate we'll be working on. Again, the question here was going to be something like given, let's say it was going to say that given a mean of, let's see what the mean could be here. Let's say that given a mean of 7.5, yes, given a mean of 7.5, calculate the value of B. Yes, and this would be a 6-mark question. Now, there's something I want you to see here. We have a 10, 8, 11, 14, 3, 7, B, 5, B. We have 2 variables here. We have a B and a B. We have to solve for a B. Because we have been given a mean, what did I say we should do first? The formula for mean. Mean is equals to sum of values divided by the number of values. Now, Let's start our calculations. We have been given mean. Mean has been given to us. It's 7.5. Under mean, we are supposed to say 7.5. By now, someone who maybe is pausing the calculator and they are trying it by themselves. That's even much more great to do. Now, sum of values, I said we are going to be adding. So we have a 10, let's cancel a 10. We have 8, let's cancel a 8. We have 11, let's cancel 11. We have a 14, cancel 14. Just like this. We have a 7. You saw what I did on the first one. I said we also add these variables. Even though we can't put them on the calculator, we have to put them in the formula. We also have the last b. And now we are supposed to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have them in the formula, therefore we are also counting them. We have to divide by 9. Now we can rewrite this. Now let's rewrite this. So now we are going to say that 7.5 is equals to, I said let's do what is doable in the calculator. So on the calculator, let's go and say, let me use a white so you can see as I'm calculating 10 plus, I have a 10, 8. I have 8 plus 11. I have 11 plus a 14. I have a 14 plus a 3. I have a 3 plus a 7. I have a 7. I can't say plus b, but I can say plus a 5 because a 5 is here. So you see I didn't put a b and a b because I just cannot put them. Now what do I get? I get a 58. So that means I have a 58. So I have a 58 plus what I couldn't put, which is a b plus another b, divided by a 9. We can rewrite this in this order. We can say that 7.5 is equals to 58 plus 2b. Why am I saying 2b? Because we have 2 b's divided by a 9. Let's get some real estate. Some real estate. Okay, that's better. Now, let's continue. I said that we have a problem here. There are 2 numbers, or there are 2 values that are keeping 2b from being on one side by itself. And those is this 58 and this 9. I said, which one should we deal with first? It's the 9. How do we deal with it first? We multiply both sides by a 9. Why do we do that? Because this 9 is going to cancel this 9. This will cancel this. And then we are going to have a 9 multiplied by 7.5. So we are going to have a 9 multiplied by 7.5 is equals to a 58 plus 2b. This looks familiar now. Let's solve for this. So let's say 9 multiply it by a 7.5. What do you get? You actually get a 67.5. Now you still have a 58 plus a 2b. Again, who is still a problem? We want 2b to be on one side by itself. What are we supposed to do? This is a problem. We send it to the other side. Go watch how to transpose or how to change the subject of the formula so that this can also be even much more understandable. When we send it that side, because it had a positive, or it was positive from this side, when it goes that side, it's supposed to be a negative. So let's come here. So let's say that 67.5. We have sent this 58, so it's going to become negative 58 is equals to 2b. Well, now 2b is on one side by itself. This is already there. 67.5 minus a 5 and an 8. What do we get? We get a 9.5 is equals to 2b. Now, this is where we are supposed to solve. Because we have 9.5 is equals to 2b, that means that these b's that we had, this b and this B. When we add them together, they give us a 9.5. But us, we want to know what each and every B has, or what one B has and what the other B also has. How do we do that? We divide both sides by 2, because now this 2 is keeping B from being by itself. 2, 2. Now, these 2 will cancel. These 2, we are going to remain with the B. And then here, we already have 9.5. Can just divide it by 2. What do we get? We actually get 4.75. Now, it looks like a long step. It's not a long step. The more you put it into practice, like I always tell you with my videos, you watch my videos and you go back and you practice the past question papers like nobody's business, because that's how you get to be a star. You don't get to be a star by watching other footballers play football if you want to be a football star. No. You become a star by watching them and going to the field of play. So now we have a 4.75. Shall we prove that? Of course. That's not even a question. That was a rhetorical question. We have to prove it. Let's go and prove it and see that indeed we are going to get the answer. Now we know that our B's, let's go up. We know that 1B, this B is, again, this B is also 4.75. Let's prove that if we do our calculations accurately, we are going to get a 7.5. Like I told you, now I'm no longer going to go and cancel, because now we are proving. So we have a 10 plus 8 plus 11 plus 14 plus 3 plus 7 plus first 4.75 plus a 5 plus another 4.75. Now what do we get? We get a 67.5. We take that 67.5, we divide it by the sum of value, by the number of values. What do we get? Look at that. Exactly as it is, 7.5. You know, you will leave your exam room knowing that you see that 6 mark, it's in the pocket. I don't even need it to be marked. If it was according to me, I would be writing out of 143. Okay, out of 144. The 6 mark is already in the pocket. They can put that on my report as an A-level 6, not a 6 mark. Anyway, that's just about that. Now, stay tuned for the next one that has to do with the 5-number summary and also the measures of spread, which is your interquartile range and also your range. So also when we are going to go to the exam type questions, you will understand there's a question with regards to this. And I want you, when we get there, you just pause and you try it by yourself and you see where you can go. But that was just about that. Thank you for tuning in. Keep well.